Welcome to the WD168. Hey, God gives us 168 hours to live, love, and enjoy. This is our take on what's happening during this 168 from the Western Diocese. Well, much is happening here, and let's get right down to it. Bridging Generations is a newly founded organization doing exactly what the name implies. Bridging generations, filling a gap that is noticed in too many congregations. Here's Daniel Repchian explaining how this gap is being bridged.
Well, we created Bridging Generations because I noticed there is a gap in the people who attend our church on Sundays. I was either the oldest because there was only children available with their family members, and I was also the youngest because their family members were parents or grandparents. The gap was missing between the ages of 20 to 40. I felt alone in that sense. And when I talk about church, people within that age group don't have the strong connection to the church as much as I would want them to, so I didn't have anyone to connect to in that age group. So I brought that to the attention of our church. I spoke to Father Khajak, I spoke to Sarpazan, and through that we invited a group of people. We had a focus group. We talked about what the issues are, why people are not attending church within that age group. And now that small group has grown to a bigger group, and now we're actually hosting events, and Bridging Generations is growing and is bridging the generations.
Daniel Repchian, appointed by our primate to chair this group of very bright and articulate young people from our community. Here's Alina Samuelian, one of the founding members of the group, sharing her insights on faith.
Why is faith so important to me? I feel like me specifically, without my faith, I'm pretty much nothing. I don't have anything. Nothing really has any meaning and value in my life without it. Especially now in this day and age and in present time in the world, I feel like faith is all we have. Everywhere we look left and right, it's just darkness. There isn't much present, unfortunately, that can make us happy. So I feel like faith is our shield, our armor to not only be grateful and count our blessings and stay strong and hopeful during the good times, but especially the bad times, which is pretty much what most people in the world are going through right now. So I feel like faith is the whole meaning and purpose of life.
Bridging Generations meets regularly at the Western Diocese, and always there's an open invitation to get involved. Currently, we have Bible study programs, church history studies, and they're offered by Mashkos Chobanyan, Haig Madoyan. They're laying the foundation for the group's outreach. Coming up in August, we'll be on a pilgrimage to Yetem for the annual Blessing of the Grapes and the celebration of the Assumption of the Asvazazin. Plan to join us there in paradise. Yep, that's what Yetem means. In June of this year, we began a program of daily evening prayers offered by the clergy throughout our diocese. The popularities of these virtual gatherings has been more than encouraging, and especially they've been inspiring young families to students, the believers, inspired in the power of prayer. A couple of weeks ago, young members of our congregation made their voices heard, both in prayer and in song, with services that reach out to those in need. Prayers for young families, for peace, for hope, for healing, for strength. This can be heard and followed every evening on our Facebook page at 7:30 Pacific Time, and they continue. On the world stage, the play is getting more and more bitter. From the most recent proclamation of converting Hagia Sophia to the heated tensions in Armenia on Artsakh-Azeri border, people are dealing with anxiety at different levels, mostly at heightened levels. In fact, as the world becomes more grim, we're realizing how the material wealth we amass is so temporary, and the spirit is in need of nurturing and fortification to deal with our current realities. In a world that is hurting, prayer continues to be our strongest weapon against despair. And watching these young souls pray and lead points to true hope. It's the manifestation of Christ and the testimony of hope and love through Jesus Christ. Join us. The deacon, the man in the robe at the altar, is having his mission and function expanded. By the order of our primate, a new Deacons Council has been formed to oversee the expansion of this vital ministry, working on continuing education in theology, Bible study, liturgics, and social outreach. The board is putting together programs and opportunities for deacons to meet the ever-increasing challenges brought upon us in modern life. Hey, here on the WD168, you hear about all the different programs, sometimes making your head spin. I know, it happens. To make these things, these programs a reality, you need divine guidance and human muscle. In the Christian church of the three main orders, deacon, priest, and bishop, the deacon has a calling to serve and to assist. The Deacons Council is working closely with Hovnan Serpazan to bring that muscle and power to the needs of the church. Watch for upcoming events organized by this Deacons Council. The Agape Circle of the Western Diocese of the Armenian Church, which provides direct support to community groups, outreach programs, and institutions that strive to alleviate human suffering, is expanding its humanitarian range by supporting the expansion mission of Providence St. Joseph Medical Center through various fundraising efforts. Says our Serpazan, Archbishop Hovnan, Providence St. Joseph Medical Center is the sole hospital in the city of Burbank. We feel it worthwhile to support the medical center's God-pleasing mission as it provides the people in our community the best possible care, tending to their every physical, emotional, social, and spiritual need. The new mission will be officially presented on Sunday, August 16, at the St. Leon Serpoz-Revontians Armenian Cathedral during the Divine Liturgy. COVID-19 is taking another turn, and it's not going away anytime soon. Different regulations and procedures are in place based on state and county provisions. Please check with your local parish and parish priest for church attendance procedures. While you're at it, ask about virtual Bible studies and lessons and services to the church. Meanwhile, we continue to stream services from our parishes as well as from the Western Diocese headquarters here at St. Leon's Revontians Armenian Cathedral, so that you are always connected from daily prayers to the Divine Liturgy. We're here to share the blessings of God in our life. And we leave you with that simple message of hope and look forward to seeing you again next week as we look at that 168 from the WD.